Now, John, where did you learn to be such a good fly fisherman?
I learned from my friend Italo.
Because it looks, well, thank you very much. It looks like you're really experienced.
No, this is
a
my
nice
second,
rainbow.
my second trout ever.
This is going to add to your collection because you got the female yesterday, and this is a nice male.
Okay, well,
Now, do you think you're hooked, pardon the pun, on the fly fishing
yeah,
business?
this is great. I love it. Can we come back tomorrow?
You know what? Tomorrow I got to golf.
Oh,
Royal Ashburn.
yes,
But that's
you told me
okay.
that.
Now see if you can lift him up without reeling in the line. See if you can bring him in a little bit closer. So because you have a nice amount of line out, it's really, you know, like a bungee cord.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will reel too much line in and then they lose the fish. But you're doing great. And you can't really push them because we're using a light leader, like a 6-pound test leader. Beautiful head shape. This year the tributaries have been a little bit warmer than usual. That's why we've got a lot of vegetation still in the river. You know, normally, John, all those weeds are out of here. Oh, can you get it in? Normally I get it head first. She is in there. Okay, John, we got it. High five. You know, you're nice and quiet. See, I'm the guy that does all the talking on camera usually. But you know what?
That has the show.
Most fishermen don't talk a lot when they've got a fish on.
No, that's a nice one. I like
if you
him.
hold the cradle, we're going to do this together. This is going to be interesting. So at least with one, yeah, just like that. What I'm going to do is, without it thrashing out of my hands, you still have the hook into it. I'm going to hold
Make
it
sure
up.
you get by the belly, not the gills.
You know what? That is a good point, John. See, look at that. This is a nice plump female, so she's full of eggs. You know, the nice thing about these cradles, John, a lot of guys will use them for muskie, and I know you're a real muskie fisherman, but for trout fishing like this, we're not getting the fish muddy, and it's very soft. If you can lower it down just a little bit, just like that. Now you got it?
Yep.
Good, because now the fish is in the water. And all I want to do is just get my hemostats just on that fly, because I don't want to wreck it on you. Got it? And I should be able to just push it out. You know, we're using such small hooks, because we don't want to get caught on bottom. There's your fly. So we're going to just tag that on here so nothing happens to it. And I'm going to put my hemostats just clipped onto here again. Those little hooks hook really well.
Go with that
now,
one way.
you don't mind if I hold it? Since
Nope.
you've got the cradle, look at that. John, want to smile? Say, Norma, look at it.
Number
See?
2.
So you can tell her now, see all that money I spent on the fly gear was
Yeah,
an investment,
see?
right?
Number 2 fish, not number 2
Look
weight.
at that. Beautiful. Beautiful rainbow. It's going to extend it out and it's going to disappear real quick. Wow, what a scene. Well done, John. That was awesome. Now see, this cradle actually comes in a 4-foot length. So what I did for this kind of fishing, because you really don't, you know, most of the trout we catch are not 4 feet, right? So this is actually 34 inches. So if we were to get a trout around 34 inches, it would probably be about 13, 14 pounds.
Oh.
So this mesh is really light, you can feel it. So when it gets wet, it doesn't take any of the slime off the fish.
Oh, good.
And because you get the fish in it horizontally, if the fish lays in it as opposed to being bent in a net, the fish seems to quiet down, you know, as long as you keep it in the water.
Yeah.
So it's a really handy thing, and I just use a little piece of rope. By the way, I got your little rope in the truck. I can give it back to you at the end of the day today.
Okay.
But you did well. I'm just going to go.
it by the day today.
Yeah, just put it on my tab.
Cost you supper.
Some top flights.
Bowl of soup.
Bowl of soup, okay. I'm going to go back up with Bob. I can see him there. Now I had 2 fish up there and Roger. So it's when you least expect it,
Oh,
right?
I know. I just started here again.
Yeah. You holler if you get another one on.
I
Okay,
will.
John? Okay.
Fisher girl! Gotta have pink.
For some unknown reason, earthworms are one of the best bait, whether you're fishing here or anywhere in Europe or elsewhere in the world. Now, earthworms are very plentiful in North America, and especially here in Canada. And here's a prime example of a night crawler, okay? Now what we're gonna do, Amanda and I are gonna show you how you hook a night crawler for small fish, panfish, and also for larger fish, like game fish. Why don't we tear about 1/4 inch of this worm, and we're gonna show the viewers how to hook it if you're fishing for little fish. Okay, go ahead. Now, you know, don't feel bad about tearing an earthworm, because earthworms, if you tear them in pieces, they'll actually heal and it'll create another worm. So I'll hold this piece. Now what I'm going to get you to do is to put the hook in the torn end and put it right up the middle so that the whole piece of worm is on the hook. Now Amanda's doing an expert job here. Okay, work it right up. It's literally sewing it up right to close to the tip. When you get about 1/8 inch away from the tip, you're going to expose the hook through. So anytime you can put the hook through. Perfect. Now if you can just hold it so they can see it. So there's the nice tantalizing action with the tip of the worm. And when a small panfish that has a small mouth comes up and nibbles on it, it'll get the hook in its mouth. Now let me show you how you use a whole earthworm if you're fishing for larger fish. So we're just going to take that guy off. Just be very careful. He's going to slide right off here. I'll give you a hand like that. And we're going to feed the fish. That's a freebie. So what I'm taking is the worm. I'm putting the hook just down a little bit from the head of the worm. Yes, worms have heads and tails, and this is the collar, the thicker part. You go down to the collar and you let the whole worm hang. So you get a lot of this wiggling action. So if you're fishing for largemouth bass or walleye or any number of especially freshwater game fish, this is one of the best ways to rig a worm. There you go, you're going to catch a big fish.